Hey you, it's Jess here and so nice to see you. Today we're doing a plan with me for the first week of April. This is the March 30th through the 5th of April and I'm using my OkPlans inserts, vertical planning inserts, and the Scribble Prints Co kit project space, which was art that I did for, well, it kind of just came out at a good time. I was inspired by For All Mankind, but then Project Hail Mary was coming out, and there was also the Artemis launch. And I ended up using this art for the week that we went to see Project Hail Mary at the cinema. And I paired it with a Caress Press Silver Stars foil bundle. So yes, that is what I did. I did my usual color blocking for the week, and I swapped I believe I swapped the bottom washi because I thought the galaxy print would be really cool with the star bottom washi overlay over the top instead of the stripes. I like the way the stripes looked at the bottom. This art I was definitely going for more of a retro 70s 80s feel space, but also for future space stuff. And I really liked the way the base came out. Just did my usual deco across the top, an April script from SBC in silver. And this week was not bad. I realized I didn't do any work this week. It's kind of like luck took a lot of this week off and the next week off for their birthday. So we did a lot of just hanging around. So let's finish up with the base here and we will get into the day by day. Alright, let's start off with the day by day. I put the book that I was reading on the sidebar, which at the time I was reading Children of Time, which was some books that my partner Locke talked about a lot, and about Adrian Tchaikovsky, and I thought I'd finally read Children of Time. I will say it is hard. It's kind of hard to read if you are afraid of spiders. So because it's half the book is about, or the majority of the book is about spiders, I will say. So that is a big warning for you in case you really can't do spiders. I am a huge, well, I grew up in Australia, so I have a lot of arachnophobia because the spiders were the worst in Australia. It was every single day, basically, was another spider encounter. But I will say, it wasn't, it's, some descriptions were like, ugh, gave me the heebie-jeebies, but overall, it wasn't too hard to read. It definitely, yeah, I feel like if you're really afraid of spiders, like some scenes, especially near the end when they have like the dramatic sort of bringing together of stuff, the culmination of the story, it's a bit like super horror. But the outcome after that is less that. It's a good outcome. I suppose some people say it makes them like spiders, but I still am not a fan of spiders. But luckily here in Finland, you very rarely see them. So where I live, in the city, so it wasn't as hard for me to read. If I was reading in Australia, I might be a bit too freaked out, to be honest. So Monday morning, I got Coffee Monday. I was playing Pocopia like every day. And then I did some laundry. Write that out. And then we were also watching the anime of One Piece. I'm not sure. We were rewatching through Dressrosa, and then we started watching new to us seasons. So we'll get there eventually. Let me put this in. I kind of want to put a chubby little thing here in the middle. Yes, it fits. Not too badly. So watching One Piece, and then I was researching new printers because my printer, it basically came to the point where I would have to clean the head between every first 5 pages, and then at the end, like every 1 page, I had to clean the head, and it was just getting really annoying. And the printer itself, I'd had it since I got to Finland, so like 8 years, and then the printer itself is like older than that. Like the and they were like discontinuing the ink. So it was time to move on, and I was researching new printers, and I decided to pick out a Canon one that has the like eco tank thing, so the refillable tanks instead of the cartridges. But I went with Canon over Epson, just from the reviews that I was reading. So I was researching printers this day. I played some Infinity Nikki, and then I was reading Children of Time. So that was my very lazy Monday. Obviously, there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't include in the day that's just sort of normal things, you know, life stuff, but like cooking dinner and eating lunch and watching things with luck, unless it's very specific. Like when we just watch random YouTube, like we watch Sorted Food every day, and we watch Max Miller, like Tasting History with Max Miller. And then we also often put on this like cat, usually Cat Sanctuary, or you know, like what are they called? Just like the places where everyone has stray cats that you can adopt. One of them's a Cat Sanctuary, but we watch their kind of live feeds as well sometimes, and Heidi loves watching that. She loves actual cat TV. So on Tuesday, played PaperKay in the morning. I did some video prep, and then I did some filming. Video prep and filming of what, I'm not sure, but obviously it was for videos the coming week. Film. And then we watched some more One Piece, because it's never ending One Piece. Let me put for the bottom. And then we have One Piece. We wanted some treats because it was like the start of like holiday and birthday kind of celebrations. So we, I should say their birthday's on the 6th of April. So the Monday in the next week. So we got some Arnold's donuts delivered. Super yum. We love Arnold's here. And then I was playing some more Nikki. And then reading Children of Time. On to Wednesday, Heidi is eating biscuits directly behind me, so I apologize if you can hear her eating biscuits, but that's just the way she lives life, you know. She likes to annoy me, like straight up. So I'm gonna put this here. Maybe I'll switch these. PaperKay doesn't have to be that. Maybe I'll switch this to a chubby little thing for PaperKay. And then I'm going to put a chubby little thing for, so this morning we went to see Project Hail Mary. Was it on IMAX? I can't remember, but we decided just to go to the local cinema and see it in their big screen. They have like a really big, it's like iSense kind of screen. I don't know, it's really big. There wasn't too many other people there, which was really great. And we got popcorn, because the popcorn here is kind of crazy. Like, you have normal kind of like theater popcorn that I've had like in Australia and Germany, England. It's all kind of being the same. But now that I've had the theater popcorn here in Finland is super round and super like fluffy, and it's so good. So we definitely picked it up. One of those. So now we do to get those. And then it's Project Mary, and we didn't finish it. And we actually brought a Ziploc bag with us. So we put the rest of our popcorn in a Ziploc bag so we could take it home on the tram. Because we don't want to carry around like a popcorn container, you know. So we had popcorn snack for a bit. So after we saw Project Hail Mary, which I really, really did enjoy, I did tear up a few times at the end. I'm sure like all of you also did. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was like, some parts of it was so tense, especially in the big cinema screen. It was like, whoa, the sound was a lot, I will be honest. But I did enjoy it, and I feel like it was really, like, Ryan Gosling was kind of the perfect casting, because he makes any character likable to me. Because I feel like there's parts of Grace that are not very likable, and you really need an actor who can make him likable in that sense. You know, considering his decisions and whatnot. I don't want to spoil it, obviously, but yeah, it was a really sweet, cool film. I liked the way it was shot, and the music was really good. So, yeah, teared up for a couple of times in that, watching that, and then afterwards we went to a recently opened Asian market to check out the stuff that they got there, and they had a bunch of really cool stuff. We ended up getting a bunch of things for hot pot, like knotted noodles. They're like kind of rice noodles that are not like in a knot. I love the texture of those, really cool. We got some deep fried tofu, and we just got lots of different bits and bobs that could be put into a hot pot, as well as a hot pot like broth. Because I've been in Infinity Nikki, there's a hot pot mini game, and it made me really hungry for hot pot. So we went and did that. Yeah, and that was our morning before we came home. Alright, so that was Wednesday morning, and then we watched some more One Piece. And we didn't make the hot pot right away. We still wanted certain things. We got Nam for dinner, which is a Vietnamese place. And we usually pick up, we usually get bun balls from Nam. And then I was playing Nikki. I've used all of my chubby little things for gray, so hopefully I won't need them the next time I use gray, because, color blocking. Anyway, so One Piece. We have Nom with bun balls. We have Nikki, and then I was reading Children of Time before bed. And that is the first half of the week all completed. I love it. I just love the way these turn out once we've color blocked and filled it up. The color just, it's everything. So let's get started on the second half of the week on Thursday. We have, no surprise to you, more Pocopia. I'm just using these, the Scribble Prints Co stickers for Squirtle and Charmander. Charmander? Yeah. I think that's the little one. I know I spent a lot of the game trying to get Charizard. I got him so late. So Charizard is in my brain, but it's Charmander. But I thought the colors matched the best. And there wasn't really any Bulbasaur colors in here, so I didn't use those. But I think it came out well. I think I'm going to put a bigger sticker here, because I didn't have too much else to put. So Pocopia, and then we have One Piece down here. I use a big box for Pocopia then. And then we also got lunch from, it's actually a really good restaurant that we've been to a few times with Locke's dad when he visits. It's called Jin. It's like a Japanese fusion place, but I will say, no, Jin. Yeah, okay, no, that was the next week we go to Gaijin. Jin is like a local ramen place which has a pretty good ramen, to be honest. I was thinking of Gaijin, which I think is the next week that we have lunch from them. And I will say, spoilers, it was not good. I would recommend going there for dinner, but not getting their lunch delivery. It was bad. But Jin ramen is good. We got Jin ramen, and then we're watching One Piece. The crazy thing about these Chinese Asian takeout containers is that both in Australia and here in Finland, they don't use them. They're not used. So I always see it in media, and I'm like, it's just so random that I feel like I've seen it on both American and British media, but actually there was one place in my hometown, Adelaide in Australia, that used the Asian takeout, these kind of boxes. One place, and it was a pasta place. It was called Pasta Go-Go, and it was I don't know, they just do a fast food, cheaper pasta. It was so good, actually. We loved Pasta Go-Go. So it was kind of out of our way. It's I don't know, a 20-minute drive from our house. So we would drive down there and get the pasta. They had really good garlic bread as well. But they served in the Asian takeout containers. But I've never had actual Asian food or any other takeout in Australia or Finland in those containers. So I'm just but they're so ubiquitous in media, so I assume they are used a lot elsewhere. But let me know, if you get food delivery or food takeaway in those containers or not. I would love to know. because we just get like normal, you know, containers that you usually get for delivery. But so then the rest of Thursday, I'm trying to see, I got journaling, Nikki, we made spaghetti with meatballs. We do like we call it our easy pasta, where we just cook some pasta and we put a pre-made like red sauce, as Americans call it. So it's called Classico, the one we like to use, but you know, it's a tomato sauce with basil and garlic. And we just mix that up, and sometimes we add olives, and sometimes we fry some halloumi up to put into it and have some cheese on top of that. And that's our like easy pasta. But this day we let's be fancy, and we made meatballs to go with it. And then I was reading Children of Time. Alright, and that is our orange day done. So, Friday, as you guessed it, I played PaperKay in the morning. I basically took the week off with luck, because they were kind of, you know, they were swanning about, and we just hung out and played games and did this and that. And then the next week you will see, in the next plan with me was, it extended my holiday for other reasons that we'll get into then. But so playing PaperKay in the morning, and then I finally have my top drawer that my printer sits on and that my journaling stuff is in. You would have seen not last plan with me, but not last Planmas, but I think the 2025 Planmas maybe. I reorganized my desk and I built new shelves and things, like new drawers. And I got a set of like wide Alex drawers, and the top drawer just suddenly wouldn't, like, one corner of it would not go in properly. So we're like, okay, let's finally fix this drawer. And what needed to be fixed was it just had to be pushed in harder. So we've been talking about it for like weeks about fixing this drawer, and we just had to push it in a bit further. But I wanted to put it in, like, we went in and we're like, fix drawer, okay, it's fixed. And then we watched the new episode of The Pit. This is definitely my favorite paper from this set, I think. I really love just the stars and the weird vintage lines. It just made me so happy. So the rest of Friday, I did some editing and uploading of the videos, but let's put in a read at the bottom. And I do want to put some little things in. So at read at the bottom, make sure I'm on the right day here. We have watched more One Piece. We were rewatching 1,000 episodes, so it took a while. And we actually ended up switching to, I think the version, so there's a version called One Pace, which is like a fan editing down of the episodes, so it had better, if like One Piece is dragging on way too long and you just can't get through the slog, One Pace is something I recommend because it's fans cutting down all the excess blog and the bad pacing to make it easier to watch, and it cuts down the episodes considerably. But you still get all the important stuff. They make sure to keep all the manga things and all the canon things in. And then there's a version of One Piece called Mun Pace. And Mun Pace is doing all the English dubbed episodes, because One Piece is mostly subtitled. And we originally watched One Piece in subtitled English in the Japanese original. And obviously that's the way to go for most animes, but we were rewatching and we had it on very we were having it on casually. Although in the end we kind of just was watching it full. But the point is our rewatch was to be casual, so we wanted to not have to deal with, in case you looked down at your phone or was eating, you missed the subtitles. So we switched the English dub for our rewatch. So Mun Pace has a super edited down English dub version, which really got us through Dressrosa because that arc is a slug and it does not have to be as long as it is. This is why I'm really looking forward to the Netflix remake that's coming out. Is it next year? Like beginning of next year? Because yeah, the anime is still going, but it's really, really old at the beginning. It's like from the 90s, and the pacing is so bad. And the anime has a lot of editing from the manga to make it like kid friendly. So I'm really looking forward to the Netflix remake because it'll be back to a better pace and it will have more of the adult stuff from the manga, you know? So, but I will say, if you're struggling and you want to watch One Piece, but I will say One Piece is good and One Piece, but although I think it's still better to watch it the first time through the full length, but yeah, so we switched to that for Dressrosa, which made it easier. We got One Piece, and then I was editing and uploading videos during this day. We're watching One Piece every day, so I assume we're actually about, the time that we were around this time was probably around Marineford arc, which is like the best arc so far. Just Marineford is just kind of crazy. It's so good, and I definitely recommend at least getting to Marineford, and I really, really hope they get there in the live action because it will be crazy. But and it's also extremely emotional, and just like the first like really big hard-hitting stuff happens in Marineford, in my opinion. I think Marineford's considered like the end of part 1 kind of thing for Oda. So it has a lot of like very important emotional like things happening. And then you get the 2-year time skip. So but it's so good. If you've watched it, you know I'm still haunted by that character's last words. But anyway, Saturday, Pocopia, One Piece, and then I did my nails. Okay, so we got nails, and then I'm gonna put this here. We had dumplings. We got some frozen dumplings from the Asian market, so we had that for dinner. And then we also watched the movie Sinners. Oh, I messed up this box. Anyway, Sinners, because obviously there was so much hype around it, and it was very good. Like, it wasn't like a 5-star movie for me, but I really, really did enjoy it overall, and I do love me some vampire stuff. And Michael B. Jordan was excellent in it. He was so good. I didn't even realize in the first, like, I don't know, 15 minutes of the film, the first scenes that he was in, I didn't realize that he played both brothers. It was that good to me, but then I was like, oh wait, I think that's, yeah, so it was very well done, and I did enjoy it overall. And then I read Children of Time. Alrighty, so now we got onto Sunday, our last day, and I'm gonna put in Nikki, and then we have, so I was playing Infinity Nikki this morning, and then Pocopia, and then this day is when we had Hot Pot, and it was really good. I'll put a picture up here on the screen. Like, it's not super like camera worthy, but you can kind of get a sense of what we had. Like, we kind of just did it 3 levels, like you know, cooking through the level and then putting through the bowl and then keeping our bowls warm as it all cooked. And I ate it all together with the dipping sauces and things, and it was really, really tasty. So definitely recommend a hot pot at home, even if you don't have, like, we just did it on our stove and then finished cooking all of it, and then took the whole bowl to the table, and I think that works fine. Yeah, so we had hot pot. And if you want to know, we got a broth, a Shanghai broth, for the flavoring, and it was really nice. Though I will say, I think you need, I think it'd be good to have a high concentration of the broth, of the flavoring in the broth, just so you get a little bit more of it throughout, which we will definitely do next time. I think we watered it down a bit too much, just because we had never made it before, you know. We have more of the Shanghai broth, so eventually we'll make more hot pot. I just have to get more ingredients for it, you know. And then we're watching One Piece, and then I did some filming, and then I read Children of Time to end my day. And that is the finished second half of the week. Love how that came out. So let me put it into the planner and we'll finish up the video. Alright, here it is in the planner, all finished. I love the way it came out and the little pops of the silver stars and everything. I think it came out so well. I'm still so happy with my layout and doing the color blocking. It makes me so happy the way it looks. It just is perfect for me. So I'll probably continue on with this. But that was my finished week. It was a good, relaxing holiday week. Lots of gaming. So Project Hail Mary, watched Sinners, fixed my drawer that wasn't really broken that much. Did some filming, researching printers. So yeah, we had a good time. We tried hot pot, like cooking it ourselves for the first time, and it was really, really fun. So let me know that you enjoyed this by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me down below some space emojis to let me know that you've enjoyed it. But otherwise, let me know about the food containers, if you've ever used one of those. That's not for pasta. Like normal, like European pasta. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.